Hello everyone, this video is drawing still life with color pencil on toned paper. Have you ever experienced you can't completely erase the color pencil mark? So that's why I always started with pencil. When we draw an outline, we should pay attention to see the object where is receiving the most of the light, which is the brightest area. So in today's drawing, the top of the banana receiving the most of the light. So those areas we need to erase most of the pencil lines because you don't want to show the black dark lines on it. But on the bottom of the banana, we'll have a lot of shadows. So those areas we can keep the dark lines. We're gonna draw it dark anyway. After the outline's done, then you can think of how to start to put in the color on the drawings. So take a look at the drawing that we're going to draw. It's a banana. You see a lots of yellow on the banana. So those is going to be the undercolors. I will use yellow colors. Draw it all over the banana first. Then I will overlay the other colors on top to create shadows and three-dimensional look. So on top of the banana has very light colors. You don't want to see those dark pencil mark and pencil lines. So I will erase most of the pencil lines because I only want like some yellow and little bit green color on it. What I am holding is a kneaded eraser, very helpful. You can form it into different shape, a pointy shape to erase the small area, a big flat shape to erase the bigger area. It's like a never dry clay. You can get it in all kind of a store like Black Art and Michael online. Now I add a little bit more yellow on top. Now it's time to think of putting other color on it. As you can see right here and here has some green showing on the banana. So now it's time to put in some greens. We always start with the lighter colors with color pencil. Just like how we use the watercolor to paint, we always go lighter and then go darker because the light color won't show up on the darker area. And the dark colors is very easy to show up on the lighter area. So always use the lighter color first. And when I draw, I won't use the full string of the pencils. I always like use half of the strings. Like I just lightly evenly draw the colors out, and then when there's an area need to be a little bit more darker colors, then I push the pencil a little bit harder to give it a little bit more darker colors. Now the green is done. Now it's time to put in other colors. We can overlay many colors on top as long as the paper can take it. You can always add more color on top. So I am drawing the shadows underneath the banana. Even the shadow, I always started with the lighter brown, then I go with the darker colors. Is the shadow only have brown colors? No. Then again, what kind of color will see in the shadow? If you have a banana, put it under the light and take a good look. What kind of color you can see on the shadow? You will be very surprised. There's many colors in the shadow, not just use brown for the shadow. The shadow itself, it will has whatever colors on the table. If the banana put it on top of the table, so the table colors, of course, were in it, and the light source. What is the color of the light? If the color have a little bit yellow, then it will have a teeny little bit yellow glow in the shadows. And what else? There will be a little bit color from the stuff that you're drawing, which is we're drawing banana, so we will see a little bit yellow and green in the shadows. Not too much, but overall you will see a little bit in the shadows. Now we're gonna draw the tippity top of the banana. To draw this area, we need to pay attention to the edges. Some has a little long triangles sticking out, and some has not. Some area it have like a very thin line. Both of the banana has a different look, so we need to draw them different too, so that make the drawing more interesting to look at it. So as you can see, I put in some black, and after the black, I still can put in some lighter color on top. When we put the light color over the dark colors, it will act like a mixing tool for the darker colors. It will make the darker color more smoother when you're using color pencil. So there's a question for how we're gonna use the white color pencils. It's not gonna do anything, and the white color pencil is also act like a blending tool for smooth out, make your other colors smooth out, and maybe will give you a little bit darker colors if you use white color on top of other colors. Also, if you're using a little bit like I'm using brown over the black, so then that area will have a little bit brown showing, so that will make the drawing more interesting to look at it. Now we're gonna draw the shadows. Look at the shadows. Outside edges, it's a little bit blurred, and the edges close to the banana, it's more darker. The whole shadow area is not the same value, so we need to pay attention to this kind of a detail. Now it's time to draw the brown spot on top of the banana. So we need to pay attention to see the top planes and the side planes. They are in different angles. So what do you think? Are we gonna draw all the brown spot on the banana? Take a wild guess. The answer is no. I will not draw every single spot on the banana. The important thing we need to draw is the shape of the brown spot. The top plane is have a little bit perspective look, so it's a little bit more thinner and smaller. On the side, it's a more rounder. We just need to pay attention to the size of the brown spot. The top plane is smaller, thinner, and the side plane it's bigger and rounder. So it's important to make a difference on the edges. So those brown spots, those are darker colors, it's perfect for make a difference to separate both bananas. So I always use a lighter brown, draw those brown spots, then I will put in some darker brown to draw just in the middle of the brown spot. Saving the edges, saving the outer edges of the brown spot, it's lighter. Only the middle, it's a little bit darker. I may go with 1 or 3 or 2 color on that brown spot. Like first it's lighter brown, then it's a little darker and darker for those brown spots to make a more realistic look. So now it's time to add the shadow color on the banana. So are we just use brown for the shadows of the bananas? Definitely not. What color we will see in the banana for the shadows, the shadow of the banana? First of all, the banana has its local colors, which is the color what it has, like the yellow and green and a little bit brown spots. That's what it has originally. Then what color we can draw for the shadows? Brown. I will just add some more brown. Brown color we need to add it, but as we have mentioned, there's a reflect light from the tables. So whatever color you have on the table, those color will reflect on the shadow of the banana. So those kind of color we need to pay attention to add it to the banana. Not too obvious, because the reflect light is just a little bit. Without it, it would not look three-dimensional. But if you put too much, it will make it flat too. So you need to be careful how much you add it to the shadows. The most interesting thing about the color pencil to me is when we look in the picture from far away, it's a realistic, very three-dimensional. When we get in close look, I can still see lots of colors on the paper without mixing, just like the pointillisms. Pointillism, you're putting the color right next to each other's. When you stand back from far away, those colors is visually mixed together to create a very three-dimensional look. But when you walk closer, you will see those colors are just next to each other without mixing. So those is the most amazing thing to me about the color pencils. As you can see, I have overlaid quite a few colors on top of each others, and I always add lightly. The color pencil have many colors for, you know, when you're drawing lighter, it will give you a very lighter colors. When we press the pencil harder, then it will give you darker colors. I always like using 50% of the, maybe lesser, sometimes like 30% on the banana when I overlay on the other colors. 30% to 50% of the colors. Always add it evenly. Let's take a look at the real picture. So here is the top plane where I'm highlighting. The brown spot is smaller and thinner and longer. And here is the side planes, which is the brown spot. It's a more rounder and bigger. And same thing like the other bananas. So those kind of detail we need to pay attention to it. Because the top planes does have a little bit perspective look. When we drawing the spot is same shape, then we'll flatten out the drawings. Same thing when we drawing the cloud. Further away the cloud it's a more smaller and less round, like more longer kind of look. And the cloud closer to you, it's a bigger and more rounder. So that is how we create a perspective look for the drawing or painting. When we're drawing, we also need to pay attention to draw all drawings will have some soft edges and hard edges, which means, see right now I'm drawing the stem, the top of the stem, those are black lines are very clear and very sharp. Those called hard lines. Take a look at the shadows area, the soft edges, those are called soft edges. All painting, all drawings should have some hard edges and soft edges, which is those elements that will create very interesting and elegant. Well, maybe not elegant, very unique look. Bring out its own character of the drawing or paintings. It's important, essential to have for art. So it's really not necessary to draw all the brown spots, every single brown spot. If you really like to draw it, you're very welcome to draw it, but I am not gonna. So it depends. If you want to draw the banana overripe, definitely will need more brown spots. But otherwise, the brown spot is just indicated how ripe the banana is. So right now it's almost to finish. So remember the brown spot, I will use like more than one colors, like lighter colors first and then darker color in the center, and then maybe I will put in a little bit dark or black right in the center or on the edge or something on the brown spot to create more three-dimensional look. And it's about finish of this drawings. If I put this drawing into a gallery or some kind of art show, I definitely will continue work on more details or put in more colors to create more three-dimensional as much as I can. But for now, it's just for a practice. Then I will say this drawing is done. If you like my video, please hit the like button or subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notice if I upload new video. On the other hand, if you join my Patreon, become my Patreon member, you will see a lot of new art tutorial videos each month. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.